part 4 of From His Partner to His Prey. Now, this part, like I told you, some of it may be different if you're reading the book versus listening to the story. Some of this may be different because, like I said, I had to fictionalize some stuff to be able to put it in a book so that I could protect myself from any kind of legal action moving forward. But after she called the cops or whatever, and we got out of that situation, my room was no longer the spot to go to because it had got hot. So Tyler was still, the tree slinger on campus, still doing his thing. He and I were enjoying each other. I mean, when I say we were getting serious, it was, I was 19, 20 years old, 21 at the most. So, this is not like, oh my gosh, this is the love of my life. Like, it was just like, I like this dude. He's been listening to me. He's been, there for me. He's been comforting me. I've been talking to him about other guys, and he gets me, and he cool. Like, I enjoy being around him, and, the other perks, you know what I'm saying? He's a tree slinger. I don't have to come out of no money for that. So, like I said, this was coming out of summer, going into fall of senior year. So, that semester, things around our apartment started getting weird. And I'm not sure exactly what was going on with Tyler's brother at the time. I think he may have just been focusing on, trying to graduate. But Tyler had been sleeping on his couch the whole time that he had been there. Because, like I said, he's the resident tree slinger on campus. So he was, operating from his brother's apartment. And I don't know if it got hot there. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I just know that Tyler started spending more time in my apartment, in my room with me. He didn't have to sleep on the couch in my room. I had my own bed. He stayed in the bed with me. So I'm sure that was a much more comfortable situation for him. So Tyler stayed with me more frequently. And I think that really pissed off my friend, who I shared the side of the apartment with. She was avoiding me. She wasn't talking to me really. And if she was trying to talk to me, it was, something either putting him down, trying to get me away from him. It was something like always trying to, deter me from spending time with him. So that went on for, like I said, pretty much the bulk of first semester. Towards the end of first semester, we were told that we had to, get ready to start preparing for winter, which was about to be, coming up on the end of my, the end of my schooling. So, I stayed on campus the spring and summer of junior year. During that time is when I met Tyler. During that time, my parents did not pay for me to be at school. So, I ended up having a balance. And with my balance, I had to Um, Either pay it, get a loan and pay it, like pay it cash or cash, check, or card, get a loan and pay it, or I had to get my parents to pay it. Well, my parents was like, no, we told you not to stay at school for spring and summer, so no, your fault. Figure it out. Tried to get a loan to cover it, couldn't cover it. Could not get a loan for that amount because I was a student with little to no credit, and I didn't really have, no collateral, nothing really to, help the situation. I was working, but I was working at Burger King at the time, and it was like more part-time than anything. So, it wasn't like I was really balling or nothing like that. So, of course, at the same time, I couldn't pay it in cash. So, I get to the point where I got to figure out what I'm going to do. How I'm going to stay in school. How am I going to finish this out and get my degree? So, I'm talking to Tyler about this, and he's like, hold on. Sorry, dogs. But talking to Tyler about it, and he's like, there ain't nothing I can do. I'm, staying with my brother. So if you leave, I'm going to have to go back to the couch. So I'm like, okay. Let me see if there's anybody else I can ask, or if anything, if there's any way they can, let me register and we can figure out the money later, if there's a way for them to pull from my financial aid. Like, what can we do to keep me in school? So Tyler, pretty much, like I said, he knew he couldn't help, so he threw his hands up. I talked to my friend about it, who was in the apartment, who was the same friend that was kind of becoming estranged. She was pretty much like, oh, dang, well, what you gonna do? I'm trying to figure this shit out too, bitch. That's what I'm asking you. So I end up not being able to get the money from nobody, from nowhere, no kind of way. And registrar told me that I was going to have to leave school. And with me having to leave school, I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm this close. I done finished 3.5 years of school. What am I about to do? So, like I said, I was working, kept my little job, stayed in with that, and everybody else had school. Well, because I couldn't pay for me to stay at school and register for classes, that meant that I couldn't keep my financial aid to stay in the apartment. So I also had to leave out of the apartment. Well, my roommates knew my situation. I told them what was going on, and they knew that my family life was, kind of blah, blah, blah. So my roommates that stayed on the left, they were completely cool with, me staying there, like, kind of like in secret. The roommate that was on my side with me, that was my friend, she said that she was okay with it, but she actually wasn't. And I wish she would have told me that instead of, letting it come out the way that it did. Because one day, I went to work, and by this time, I'm living in the apartment, basically, when I'm not supposed to be. So, I don't have a key. I don't have no way to get in and out unless somebody lets me in or out of the apartment, because that's the situation. So I leave and go to work, and Tyler stays at the house because everybody else is gone for the weekend. Everybody's gone for the weekend, and I had to work. So Tyler ends up answering the phone. He answers the phone, has that conversation, and calls me.